I think the work is important to me and to most of the club members because they are users of the resource and they feel that to use a resource wisely you have to actually husband that resource. The fish do need certain basic elements like cool water, that type of thing through the summer, so that's part of our giving back to the salmon. So our idea was to capture the brood stock from there, to rear them through the winter to fed fry level, and then actually to release them in the waters above the falls. So they get released in waters that they're not competing with other wild coho. They've essentially got an area up there that is above the normal coho range. Courtenay Fish and Game built this new hatchery because our old hatchery essentially had water quality problems and we had to find a new source of water and come up with a plan now to use some of that water as for a upwelling spawning bed with a natural channel to rear wild coho from the Comox Lake. What we thought we would do is to utilize our water to actually rear wild fish and to augment a small creek beside us here and create a spawning bed and refuge channel for the Comox Lake coho and help them through the warm summer months. BCCF were the first ones to step up. They actually helped us pre-purchase a bunch of material. The number of people that are involved is also heartwarming. We have probably 30 or 40 volunteers that actually take care of the fish, and so all that effort, you can see it when you put the fish in the creek.
One of the pieces I really love about this work is how many people are involved and how many people really care about salmon. We work with governments and First Nations and the community, volunteers, students, you name it. There are so many people who get involved when it comes to answering these questions about salmon. Salmon survival has kind of been this black box. It's really hard to understand where salmon are disappearing, where we see the greatest drops in survival throughout their life cycle. We've been tagging Puntledge River Chinook and coho for the last 4 years now, and we work with the community to be tagging fish right at the beginning in the hatchery, as well as doing beach seining in the estuary, and then we follow them all the way to the ocean. Traditionally, we've thought that the first marine winter is a bottleneck, that's a source of mortality for salmon. But that first marine winter has been so understudied, and we are collecting so much valuable information about the health of these fish, what they're eating, what conditions they're experiencing in that critical period, that soon we'll start to be able to piece together this more holistic picture about what's actually happening, and we're really excited to start to be able to answer some of those bigger questions. We know that people in communities are doing really important work, and we want to make sure that we're doing the important work to tell them where they can be concentrating their efforts and where they can be doing the most for salmon. We have been really fortunate to partner with Wesley Greentree. He's a UVic student doing his PhD looking at this acoustics piece. He's putting acoustic tags into the Puntledge Qualicum stock group to better understand the migration behaviors of this population so we can know what proportion of the population leaves in the first winter and what proportion stays. The work that we're doing here is really only possible because the people in this community have stood up and said, salmon are important to us and we want to do more. So their support matters, their engagement matters. We can't go this alone, and we want to keep working on it together.